Everybody, it's me, Mark D, and it's April Fool's Day. So I decided to go walking under a train so that you couldn't hear me. The joke's on who? Hey, it's day 32 of the 75 challenge, and I'm here taking my afternoon walk, my evening walk. It's getting kind of late here. I didn't intend it to be this late. This little walkway is great actually because the lighting's amazing. I think it looks really good. But we're going to hear trains going by every few minutes, which is totally fine, totally okay. Good evening to you. And just talking a little bit today about playtime and having fun. Because I realized that sometimes I come on here and I'm trying so hard to say something I've been thinking about or processing in my mind. And other times I just come on here and go, blah, blah, dee blah, blah. And sometimes some good stuff comes out, but those are the times I have a lot of fun. And what can energize us more than a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of play? And that's why it's important for us to take time to have fun time, to have playtime. This week I went up to North Van every afternoon after work to pick up my son. I don't know how loud this train or this truck is going to be. Hey, if you're here on the replay, thanks for coming by. I'll just squeeze that in while the rumbling truck is next to me here. And of the 3 days that I picked up my son at daycare. So I have to walk to the sea bus to go to the North Shore in Vancouver, for those of you who know. For those of you who don't know, it's about a 40-minute walk, which is nice. Did some stretching while I waited for the sea bus for 5 minutes. Then I had to walk up to the daycare, which isn't a very long walk. But out of the 3 days I did it, 2 of them were exceptionally fun. One of them was really fun, but it ended with a little bit of tension because my little guy, well, he was just being a little guy, to be honest. And timing didn't hit properly, and it was a bit wholesome. Hey, thanks, Rita Moore. Appreciate you dropping in there. You welcome to Haps as well. Been here for a month or so and just getting the hang of it. I really like this software, to be honest. So what I noticed about the other 2 days is I had a chance to kind of decompress my mind, and on the walk to daycare before I picked up my son, did some meditation. I danced while I was walking, listened to some really upbeat music. The first 10 minutes of the walk, I said my mantras, got out all the stress I had from work. And by the time I got to pick him up, I was in a great place, and I was able to just kind of like settle in a bit and do whatever it is he was into, take my time, not worry about being late, not worry about how long it takes us. Made sure I had some snacks and food, listened to him so I understood what he thought would be fun. You know, the difference between a slow-going, frustrated walk and a fun, easy-paced walk is me following him on a crack on the road, pretending I'm a train when he says, "Follow me, I'm the leader." And it's because he knows how to play. He knows how to have a really good time. And by taking his lead when he says, "I'm the leader," it really helps me to fall back in a place of childlike wonder, childlike playfulness, rejuvenating, energizing. I was still physically tired because I'm doing both of the physical activities in a day, and that was usually the second one. We were getting home later in the evening. I was already usually about 7 hours into my fast. A lot of things working against us, but when we took the time to play and have fun, that's when we were really energized, really excited, really had a good time. So I was really thinking about that a lot and how we relax. In our world today, it's not really about relaxing, is it? We're kind of addicted to working harder. We're addicted to always being busy. We're addicted to always having something going on. And I'm definitely one of those people. I have trouble not thinking about work sometimes when I got problems to solve. And this is why play is so important. And a friend of mine, Roger Haskett, he does public speaking. He talks about the importance of play, and he's the one who first kind of got me on this thought process, and like really reminding me of how much I enjoyed playing when I was into it subconsciously. And now I'm making the point of trying to be more playful in different aspects. Yeah, so that was something I learned this week, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really great. Camera's a little bit shaky in the darker light. I don't have my gimbal, so I apologize about the quality here. The other thing I want to talk a little bit about, actually I want to talk about technology. So I'm thinking about getting an upgrade to my data plan, because I'm on an economic plan with a company called Freedom here. One thing, I've been running out of data. Second, their reception is not great. They're on borrowed towers and they don't have a lot of them, although it has gotten much better over the last 3 or 4 years. Exceptionally better. But also I've been running out of data every month now for the last 2 months, in part because of these streams. And the other thing is, I've got a really good phone. This phone's great in every aspect possible. Going by again. And the only aspect is the front camera is a little bit shady, and on the back camera, when I take a picture, it doesn't have autofocus. You know, like how you can touch the camera or touch the lens to focus. Well, a lot of cameras will let you do that, but they don't force you to do it. But this one does. So I guess the cameras are where they downgraded the price on this phone. So, you know, they're offering bundled plans with new phones, but the plans are pretty expensive. But here in Canada, on the West Coast specifically, Rogers is about to buy Shaw, the company who owns my economic plan. On the train, they're going furiously on this Thursday night. One of the problems is that when they buy them, I think the competition's going to change. So all the major carriers having these deals right now, and people in other countries would be like, that's a fucking deal? That is expensive. But for $80 a month, you can get 30 gigs, and it's unlimited. After 30 gigs, it just throttles. And I'm contemplating it because I've still got another 41 plus days. I have 44 days left. 43 days left, sorry, of this challenge. And I don't think I'm going to stop at 75 days. I think so many things are changing positively for me that I'm thinking this is like a new way of life. And I think these lives will eventually probably metamorphose too into a whole new thing. And so I feel like it's a bit of an investment in me and what I'm doing. Also, I do have a kind of a crutch for technology. I love tech stuff. So yeah, just a little bit talking it out here on air because I was just curious how that works and what I'm thinking about it. But it would allow me a few different things, a better stream. I wouldn't be having this blurry issue right now. And also, perhaps I could gift this really good phone to my wife, because the camera is still great. You just have to focus it with your finger, which isn't the end of the world. Anyhow, so this is the last thing I'm going to talk about on this particular broadcast. I'm just going to say a little bit about the 15 commitments. I'm at commitment 10 I just finished. So this is for those who haven't seen this broadcast before. I'm reading a book for my 75 Hard Challenge, and I'm reading, one of them I'm reading right now is 75 Commitments of Conscious Leadership. And I'm reviewing a bunch of the commitments, but I haven't done one in a little while. And conscious, commitment 10, I'm just going to slow down a second here. Commitment 10 is about seeing the opposite side. So in the book, they talk about being above the line or being below the line. And below the line is living out of conscious leadership, and above the line is stepping into conscious leadership. And a person who commits to commitment 10 when they're above the line says that I commit to understanding that the opposite of what I believe may be as true or truer than what I actually believe. what I believe, the opposite of what I believe, may be truer or as true or truer than what I actually believe. Sorry, I had a whole bunch of notifications come in there. Forgot to turn them off before the... And so there was this really great exercise in that. There's a few different exercises in how to bring yourself into a place of seeing the opposite of your own story and what you believe. And that's what the whole book is about, you know, your own story and how not to get dragged into your own trauma, how not to get dragged into the triggers, how not to get dragged into the triangle relationships, how not to let yourself tell you what you believe and not be curious, not be open-minded, all of those things to fight against. Sorry, I'm using all the negative talk, I just realized, so that's good. I'm glad I recognize that. To enable yourself to have an open mind, to be curious, to commit to be a conscious leader, and to follow the 15 commitments so that you may live in a place of... I'm getting checked out. You want to see what I was doing up here. Live in a place of consciousness and commit to it so that you may be open-minded, so that you may not... I keep saying not, I'm trying to avoid that. So that you may be open-minded, so that you may live in a curiosity, so that you can commit to seeing a different way instead of following what the crowd tells you, instead of, only looking at solutions, but just exploring ideas without actually having to solve something. Open yourself to creativity, and to not live in your own patterns as a leader. So by understanding that the opposite of what you believe may be the actual truth, and God, this is going to help me in my relationship, you can see the other person's perspective, you can live in their shoes, you can have empathy and love in your heart for what's going on, and you can let go of being right. And this is ultimately the goal. You don't need to be right, because there may not be right, or there may be two rights. And I was speaking to someone who I have a great respect for about 3 years ago, and I asked him about the relationship, and she said, well, one day I just decided, do I want to be happy or do I want to be right? And that just hit me right in the heartstrings and the head strings and in the gut strings. And ultimately, that's really important, is to not have to prove yourself right. And it's like, well, but what if I am right? What if I am right? Hey, listen, that's what it's all about right there. I'll let you think about that. Thursday night before the long weekend here in Canada. I don't know if everybody else celebrates this. And pretty excited to have a long weekend to relax, be with my family, have some playtime, have some fun. And this is Mark D saying, just remember, Stigs, and I love you. I love you. You're doing okay. And I hope you have everything you need to accept and overcome those challenges that you might be having. Love you. Have a good night.